Hello everybody and welcome. We are live from the Piazza delle Feste, Porta Antico, Genova. Some of the best continental climbers compete here in the second and final stage of this international circuit, which awards the title of winner of the 2024 Senior European Cup Bouldering. The first European Cup took place back in Klagenfurt, Austria, back in April. This competition takes place over 2 days here in Genova. Yesterday, Saturday, the 5th of October, we had the qualifying phases, first for women and then for men. In the qualifying phase, we saw the athletes compete on 12 boulders, 6 women's and 6 men's. And in today's competition, we have the semi-final and final phases of the competition. The athletes have 4 boulders to solve, again in 4 minutes. The top 24 athletes from yesterday's qualification round have advanced to today's semi-finals. Prior to the start of the semi-finals, the athletes have made use of an observation period during which they could visualize potential methods for the boulders. And I am now joined by Martin Smith from the UK. Martin was a competitor for GB climbing in the bouldering discipline, and he is now a climbing coach based in Sheffield, England. Welcome, Martin.
Morning, James. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks, yeah. Pleased to have you here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Excellent. So we have the first competitor already on the mats. And just prior to this, you saw a highlight of some of the action from yesterday's qualification and a little glimpse of the backdrop for this competition, which is effectively the harbour of Genova.
Yeah, so we have Lena Funa from Slovenia here, who we've already seen drop the last move on this first boulder.
Honestly, this first boulder looks like quite a complicated sequence to read.
Yeah, she managed to reach the zone hold on the first attempt, which is always good.
Okay.
And then the crimp above that she reached for, she went up with her left hand and matched. I think the route setters envisaged you would roll over with your right hand. But it's a very positive crimp. It's small, but it's very positive. So I did think that competitors would be able to match on the hold. But yeah, interesting to see what the competitor does in the moment.
Yeah.
They may have thought from the ground that they would roll over right hand, but until you're on the boulder, you don't always know.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, let's see what Lena attempts on her second attempt. Still going left hand. Solid position with the heel, so I don't think the match is a problem. Lena already has a index on her left hand taped, potentially from many attempts yesterday. Maybe the skin on that finger's thin.
Yeah, I mean 6 boulders yesterday.
Yes.
In 2 periods, wasn't it?
Yeah, quite a different format to if you're used to watching the World Cup. The format yesterday was 6 qualifying boulders. The competitors would attempt 3 boulders, then have approximately an hour's break, and then move on to another 3 boulders. Yeah. So yeah, quite a different format. And also they could chat with their coaches in between the boulders. You could watch other competitors try boulders. So after finishing boulder 1, you would sit down and you could watch a competitor try and boulder number 2 and chat along with your coach. So quite a different format, and yeah, added something different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I immediately thought that's kind of like working a boulder outside with a group of friends almost. You know, watching someone on the boulder, learning from their mistakes or successes, and then applying it yourself.
So the second Slovenian competitor. Okay, that undercut is quite positive as well.
Yeah. What, the starting left hand? Or the...
The hold she's just coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, the big pink hold.
Excellent first attempt. Not committed to a heel there. Sticking with the toe. Oh, now changing it to a heel. Oh, nice. Nice attempt. Okay. Yeah, I always feel like when you have a solid heel committed way off centre in one direction, you have to move to the other. Yeah, it's you're in a very solid position and
yeah,
releasing it.
Yeah, releasing the heel can be difficult.
Absolutely.
And both the penultimate hold and the final hold are facing in the same direction. So you really need to kick that left foot out high and try and stop that quite vicious barn door.
So that pink volume on the left is basically going to kill the momentum.
Yes.
If you can get the timing, if you can make the timing work.
Yeah. So Neza and Lena, say both from Slovenia, so they probably read the boulder together. So they both matched the crimp, so we're probably going to see similar sequence on maybe all the problems. We'll see.
Yeah.
Strong thumbs there.
Yeah.
So the hold you're using there, you're not able to really stand on that when you come above it. It's a dual text hold, so it's texture on the bottom of the hold, but on top it's very slick, so that you wouldn't be able to use it as a foothold higher up on the boulder.
Yeah, well established on that arete there. Let's see what she tries on this attempt.
Yeah, you can see she's torn between putting a heel on and using a toe.
Okay, setting up. Oh,
close.
It doesn't seem to be enough upward energy in a way. Seems like you're going to have to get your centre of gravity quite high to land that last hold. What have we got left on the clock? 35 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, this will be the final attempt.
I think she's going to be pressed for time to make it to the top of the boulder. Nice catch there on that pinch, that pink pinch.
Yeah, this bottom part of the boulder is dialed in.
Okay, 8 seconds.
This time, hopefully. Yeah, 5-second counter.
Oh, yeah. Close. Well, not close enough, let's say. A beautiful looking boulder, a combination of pink and blue. We've got some plywood volumes and some PU holds. And even some of the plywood has dual texture on. So the first pink volume is full texture, and then the very brilliant pink ones low and right are, yeah, they're actually smooth on the upper surfaces, making them hard to stand on or almost impossible to stand on, let's say.
Okay, so we're going to get first look at boulder number 2. Potentially the most physical. Boulders 2 and 3, probably the most physical.
Immediately up into these 2 undercuts to start with.
Yeah. And out on problem number 1, Hannah Hattenbach from Germany.
Oh, close. Just catching the zone, but not establishing any weight on it. It looked maybe like on problem 2 for Lena, the boulder sort of felt different to how she predicted. She sort of questioned the method to move out to the zone. On the right-hand side of your screen, we have Hannah from Germany establishing herself well on the first boulder. Might be the closest attempt we've seen so far.
Yeah, this last move on Boulder number 1.
Yeah.
Every competitor so far has reached the last move on their first attempt.
Okay.
So appears to be the stopper move.
So we have a finishing crux effectively.
Yeah, potentially. Which is very draining.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a difficult move at the start, then you're not losing too much energy, but you're having to climb all the way up there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
to drop the last move and then again and again potentially.
Mm. It's fairly cool in the stadium this morning. 19, 20 degrees. Overcast.
Yeah, it's much more overcast than yesterday. Yesterday was a glorious day.
I mean, these cool climbing conditions should sort of favour some good attempts.
Yeah, we're into October now. Quite often find that many of the building comps are in the middle of the summer, and it can be 35 degrees, and it's not ideal for hard bouldering.
Absolutely awful conditions. Okay, wow, we've got a high left toe hook on boulder number 2 from Lena. Trying to cross over into a sort of shoulder. Yeah.
Wild manoeuvres.
Yeah, elaborate manoeuvres. It's worth trying something different if you've exhausted all options in the beta that you've sort of read during observation. I really feel like setting off at 35 seconds to go leaves you quite tight for time.
It does. However, certainly on builder number 1, you do have time. We've seen from the previous competitor.
Okay.
Set off at a similar time and did have fail at the last move again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lena securing the zone on boulder 2.
Fantastic. Both competitors fall at the same time.
Yeah, and that's time.
Now we have Laura Loikas from Finland on boulder number 1. Not wasting any time pulling on there. Tentative on that wooden volume low. Excellent. So that pink hold out right is quite a good pinch, actually.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Different material to the rest of the holds on the wall, though. It's like a big PU pinch from a company called Grizzly out in Canada. So different material altogether. So potentially a different texture. Oh, and honestly, that was a fantastic attempt on boulder number 1 there.
It was.
The Finnish athlete. And I think we could see her make that top move. She's got plenty of time left.
It's 4 minutes per boulder.
Yeah, and it's a cut-off, isn't it? It's a complete cut-off at 4 minutes. I mean,
Yes.
I remember the old format. Once you'd established yourself on the wall within the time frame, you could then continue that on that attempt, which I really quite enjoyed.
They did have observation time, though, for these boulders. Prior to the start, they had 8 minutes observation to look at all 4 boulders. So that's unusual, I think, for a semi-final.
I've not seen that before for a semi-final.
That's normally just for a final.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the route setting team almost need to take that into consideration, because effectively, if you have the opportunity to analyse things with your coach, with your team members, you potentially could climb something harder than you might if it was just yourself making the analysis. And
Oh,
the Finnish athlete just pulled off there for the way she started the boulder. We didn't see that, was just obscured. We have the Slovenian athlete on women's 2, made the zone with both hands. Oh, wow, yeah. She exploded out that position really well. Looks like, so on that section, you're basically going to have to catch the next hold in compression.
yes, yeah, that looks like a very tough move.
Yeah. And then going to the top, it could be, what, a high heel or a low right toe and a very powerful final move. So back on boulder number 1. Laura looking really strong there. Oh, again.
Just a fraction low.
Yeah.
It is quite good, the finisher hold on number 1, on boulder 1. You have to get your hand right in the back of it.
Okay, it's quite in cut.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. But it is round, you know.
Yeah.
Just 27 seconds left.
Okay.
Yeah, Laura's going to have to motor here.
Yeah. Into the Gaston. Right heel up. Come on, Laura, let's go. Oh, no, not as much energy. You rushed it a bit, but obviously,
Yeah,
with that time pressure,
that's right.
hard not to. Okay, who have we got out next? So Anna Bolius from Austria should be making her first attempts on boulder number 1 in a moment. So we have Lena back on women's 3.
Yes, boulder number 3. First look at boulder 3. Again, another powerful boulder. 2 powerful boulders back to back. And out on boulder 1, we have Anna.
Yep, we have
Anna Bolius from Austria.
Wow. Really having to generate some momentum on women's 3 out left to land that zone hold. I mean, that's quite a small hold to catch.
The zone hold is very small. It's a positive crimp, but the way they've positioned it, they've tucked it right in on the angle change of the wall. So if it was on a flat wall, you'd be able to really get your knuckles up and crimp down.
Yeah.
But you probably can't on that because of the positioning of the angle change on the wall.
Okay.
Very cheeky of the route setters there.
Let's see how second attempt goes. And back on women's 2, we've got the German athlete, Hannah.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah.
Probably the closest we've seen so far.
All 3 athletes just taking a pause now to brush the holds. Remove a bit of that chalk from the setting. I think I'd quite enjoy doing a comp in these conditions.
Yeah.
Every time I've attended a competition, it has been those sort of temperatures that you mentioned before, sort of 30 degrees and humid. I mean, it's actually really quite dry here. I mean, we're on a wharf jutting out into the harbour, but yet there's a breeze and it's about 50% humidity, which is a touch more than yesterday. We're about 40. We're keeping a close eye on the conditions.
Which would be a Sheffield climber's dream.
Yeah, it would be a Sheffield climber.
55% humidity.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's more like 90 in Sheffield.
Yeah. Okay, back on women's 3.
Okay, top on number 1.
And she has, just off screen, the Slovenian athlete has caught that undercut for the zone, and she's about to explode up. Okay.
Okay, so first top on boulder 1.
Nice.
In fact, that's the first top.
And we had
start for Anna.
And we had a really good attempt from Lena on women's 3 there. I fancy her chances at making that move once again. Now she's got it in the sort of as a motor skill.
Yeah, so that was just a second attempt for Anna on Boulder 1. Zone on first go.
And she's caught that zone again with the press into the black volume. Yeah, I think that volume, that purple volume that she's jumping up to, is particularly poor, and the second one of the two is much more positive. So I think you almost need to do those move as a second generation to the upper volume.
Yeah, possibly. The second one is certainly much better.
Yeah, you can see a sort of positive rail running down it, can't you?
It is. Yeah, I would. The competitor will stop on that hold.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a pretty good hold.
Yeah. And
okay, but that is time.
So now we will have the first appearance of Amber from the Netherlands. Just taking a moment to brush the holds. Thanks to Climb Lab for supplying these brushes for the competition. Okay, immediately on women's 3. Oh, close. Seems to have read those moves really well.
Problem number 1, we have Amber Schieflers from the Netherlands.
On women's 3, we're going to have a Slovenian athlete trying to generate enough momentum to get into that press without really looking to establish herself on the crimp, the zone, which seems like a reasonable method, actually. Okay, and just on the top right corner of your screen, we had Amber attempting to make that final move on women's 1. Halfway through the allotted time period for this boulder now. Okay, that first couple of moves seems okay on women's 3, actually. And then it's just generating the movement down into that press.
Yeah, it's a really tricky move down to that zone hold on number 3.
Yeah, she's not even looking at the hold, honestly. Trying to get the opposition between the feet on the volume and hands on the upper black hold. Nice, out to that grizzly pinch on the right now for Amber before she comes back left to the blue crimp as a Gaston. You can see all 3 athletes on the screen right now. Finnish athlete just failing to move out left.
Yeah, we're starting to get a feel for where the cruxes are on these boulders.
Yeah.
No messing around with the Slovenian athlete, straight back on boulder 3.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Just not getting the centre of gravity into the wall enough. It's, I mean, that angle of the wall looks symmetrical at first glance, but that sort of arête on the left-hand side is actually longer than the one on the right-hand side. So there's much more ground to cover there if you compare it to the section of wall that the Finnish athlete's in now. So you've really got to generate momentum into the wall to get your hips into the wall and get your centre of gravity over that volume.
Also,
Look at that, yeah.
Okay, just 8 seconds left. Yeah, so we'll be moving on
Some
now.
good attempts, but these boulders seem hard. No?
Yeah, just one top so far.
Yeah.
But there's a long way to go. 24 competitors in the semi-final.
Just catching some replays here of Amber on women's one. Yeah, close. Okay. We should see the first appearance now of a Norwegian athlete. Sunnika Have. Please excuse any errors in pronunciation here. We've obviously got a lot of countries competing. And on the left-hand side of your screen, we are going to see the first attempts on women's 4 from the Slovenian athlete Lena Fumina. Our camera team are managing to capture all the boulders at once, which is great. So for those of you watching at home, we presume we've got quite a focused climbing audience for this semi-finals. Many of you may know these athletes competing.
All very young athletes.
Yep.
When we went down the list yesterday, the oldest competitor was just 24.
Wow.
And yeah, many of the athletes under 20.
Yeah.
A lot of teenagers here.
Yeah, there've been quite a few competitions in quick succession, haven't there, which have sort of pulled athletes left, right and centre, I suppose. So
yes.
Some of the more senior athletes on the teams may well be out in Korea, having just competed in the Boulder World Cup there, which makes this competition an excellent opportunity for some.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. For the younger climbers, younger competitors. It feels like maybe a more relaxed event than a World Cup would be. I think it's probably a good introduction if you are a young competitor.
Yeah.
So in the far left of your screen, this boulder number 4, chatting to the route setters, explained that from this big volume, this transition is difficult. Probably the crux of the boulder. Move across, and there's a jump up to a positive crimp, and he said that the boulder is over once you reach the positive hold.
Yeah, Lena was looking really insecure with the left foot on that red volume. Does look like an awkward body position. And then back on women's 1. Norwegian athlete. Got a good amount of time left on the clock there, so let's see if she can make a good attempt.
Yeah. If you do want to keep up with the scores, I would recommend downloading the IFSC app. It's a great way of keeping up with the scores, live scores.
She's effectively using the momentum of letting go of the toe rather than really trying to drive any momentum through the feet or pull with the arms there.
On Boulder 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you can drive through the feet there. You're coming off a toe hook, and the left foot is really poor. You know, it's at an angle.
Okay.
You're not pushing up off that. I think you're just pulling hard with your arms. Okay.
Women's 2.
Yeah.
Might see a first top here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna from Austria.
Nice.
That's now a second top.
Powerful climbing there.
Yeah, Anna Bollius from Austria. The top pinch that she caught there is good. It's very positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just took a moment to sort of decide on how she could adjust her feet to.
And perfect timing. With there was just 10 seconds on left when she caught the last hold.
Nice. Just in the nick of time.
Yeah. Yeah, puts her into a convincing lead. The only climber with a top, and that's 2 tops. But it's early days.
Okay, so we're just going to welcome Maria Ramos, first Spanish athlete on the mats today. On women's 1. We have Amber from the Netherlands back on women's 2. And Laura from Finland, women's 3. And we have another athlete on women's 4. So we can maybe see a little bit more of that boulder now. Not such a confident start there from Maria on women's 1, but I think she's learned something from that attempt outright. And we have another strong attempt here on women's 2. Maria pulling again on women's 1. Struggling with that step through for some reason. Maybe in some of the materials in this competition, the athletes may not have climbed on before, so some of them might be familiar shapes and familiar holds to some of them, and to others it might be a completely new climbing hold or climbing volume, and they might not be familiar with the angle or the type of texture, so
yeah,
add a bit of variability.
Yeah, and every climber has strengths and weaknesses, so.
Oh, I'm liking this attempt on women's 2. Ah. Honestly, I thought she'd stick that move there. She looked to hit the holds very well. Like good height, good depth. Maybe just a friction issue, that. Come on, Maria. Let's see you get out right on this boulder. Ah, okay. Okay, good height on the handhold, but yeah, just not landing that right foot to get the opposition. Now we've just got a minute left on the clock. Now we're got very confident stride towards women's 3 there from the Finnish athlete. Going for a toe high to balance her out. It seems awfully hard to generate that momentum over left. Ah, here we go.
Okay.
Nice.
20 seconds left, so.
Time there. Come on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's really risky, that move, just with the right toe.
It just looked a little too far off the toe, didn't it?
Yeah. Just didn't hit the height on that last hold.
You could see she was in two minds. Is it the heel?
Yeah.
Is it the go off the small screw-on foothold?
Yeah.
And yeah, going off that low foot meant she didn't get the height and came up short on that pinch.
Now we have the first Serbian athlete out on women's 1. Milka Marjanovic. And on women's 2 we have the athlete from Norway.
And on Boulder 3 we have Anna from Austria. This will be interesting, this move for Anna.
Wow.
No problem, first go.
First go, incredible.
I was just interested, she has her left ankle is heavily taped. And I was
Okay.
wondering how she would find that move. Okay, this crimp is very positive that Anna has in her right hand. I think, yeah,
Oh, wow,
that's
just
the top.
cross over.
Yeah.
Yeah. The boulder looks like a done deal from, as soon as you get that penultimate purple volume, that didn't look like a problem at all. Although
as you go out to the small crimp on the ride, it's small, but it's very, very positive.
Okay.
I think if climbers get there, they're going to top.
Yeah,
That's not a problem.
Yeah. Wow. That was a great flash.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was saying, her ankle is heavily taped on left ankle.
Yeah.
And jumping across onto your left leg.
Yeah.
It's
remarkable it hasn't impeded her there at all.
Luckily, that was first go.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what she was thinking. I don't want to stress this ankle any further.
Probably happy to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That just leaves. Have we just missed the top on the right-hand side?
We have, yes. Yeah. Malika flash boulder 1.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so first competitors to flash boulder 1.
So back on women's 4 now.
So we just have 2 competitors out now.
So we made
Savina from Norway on boulder 2, and Hannah from Germany on boulder 4.
Yeah, so we've got 2 very small PU screw-ons on these first 2 volumes, which the athletes are having to sort of navigate with the tips of their climbing shoes.
Yeah, the left one is very positive. The right one is poor, but you're on the left foot pretty much. You just have to touch the right one.
Yeah. And on the right of your screens, we've got another attempt on women's 2, but that was, just losing friction there by the looks of things. Well, you can't complain about conditions, girls. We've got a light breeze, and we've got 55% humidity. I would say it's pretty good climbing, Connies, if you ask me. But yeah, presumably a lot of skin lost in qualifications. They're back on women's 2 and on women's 4. Yeah, okay, looking strong on this. I feel like she rushed that a little bit.
We're not seeing much headway on boulder 4 yet, have we?
No, not at all.
As the route setter predicted, this transition across is very difficult.
Ah, nice.
Okay, good. It's looking better.
I had a really close look at that hold that she's reaching up for there as the zone, and it's flat and poor.
Yeah.
It's got a perimeter of sort of smooth texture, or no texture, let's say.
Yeah.
And the centre's like a patch of texture, but there's no sort of angle to it.
You're not holding on to anything.
No. It's just
no
a
holding. Yeah, I've just seen a replay of Anna there. No problem at the end.
So on women's 1, we will now have the first appearance of a British athlete, Eugenia Lee. All the athletes taking 30 seconds there to give the hold a good clean before their first attempts. Eugenia just pulling on that, getting that sort of, it's like basically like it's a Gaston, isn't it? It's like an undercut Gaston to get established in the start position.
Yeah.
And then matching a thumb catch.
Yeah, 2 thundercuts.
I don't know about that. Oh my goodness, we're getting some vocabulary here now. Thundercuts.
Thundercuts. Is that not a term?
Probably in the Sheffield climbing circles. I don't know whether that's been established across the continent yet. Okay, she looks comfortable in this position, Eugenia.
Yeah, probably one of the taller athletes.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. So she can leave Leave that toe in longer, maybe. Oh, beautiful. She's managed to hold that position.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No problem. That's a flash. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's so controlled.
Yeah, I'm surprised that
So
volume
controlled.
is so slopey. We've not seen anybody actually try to do that because of the, the severity of the angle on the bottom of that pink wooden volume.
And I wonder if her height did help there, because when she was still on the toe hook, she brought, we're seeing the replay now, left foot is already quite high. Yeah, there wasn't, a left foot didn't have to move too far, did it?
No. But she seemed confident on that volume as well. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
let her weight sink into that left foot when it landed.
Yeah.
And was able to grab the last hold with ease.
Yeah, nice. So just on the left side of your screen, we've got some action on women's 3. Okay, leaving the toe very high to generate the first momentum of the swing. But then, leaving that out as a method now. Amber just not finding the way there. 1 minute left. These will be the last attempts for Laura from Finland. Over on the left-hand side of the screen.
Just 45 seconds to go.
Yeah. We have Maria from Spain making it to the zone. She looks comfortable here. And initially not even using that right-hand thin volume to sort of gain any, positioning or posture before exploding out left.
Yeah, we saw a previous athlete kind of crossed hands there in order to release the toe.
Yeah.
And that looked like a really good method.
Yeah, sort of opposing shoulder compression. She's going to give it one last go.
Yeah. There was only 12 seconds when
she pulled on.
Yeah, when Maria pulled on there. And she'd already secured the zone hold. That maybe would have been better to just leave that attempt, but there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, in the moment you've got to... Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got the first appearance of an Italian athlete here. That's the reaction, if you can hear that in the background from the crowd. Wow, incredible reaction from the crowd here in Italy, in Genova. Irina Daziano just assessing Boulder 1. The energy in the stadium seems to have lifted immediately with the instigation of some music from the Prodigy. And the crowd here in Genova.
It does feel like the tunes have just been cranked up a little bit more, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Center of your screen. We've got some good action here on women's 2. Immediately high on the zone, looking for the top here. Oh no, just lost the heel.
Yeah. On the far left of the screen, we have Anna just popping out the screen on her final boulder.
Okay. Irina doing really well on women's 1 there. So Irina trains out of a gym to the west of us. From Genova, if you pass Finale Liguri and head out to the French border. She trains out of a gym which I would say is relatively local, considering the size of the country and the distance that some athletes would have travelled to get here. So I'd say she's on home turf. Just taking a moment to use that Climb Lab brush to brush the top volume. She's obviously considering that as a reasonable hold.
See, Anna has got three fingertips taped there.
We have Excellent climbing here.
Yeah, this would be great for Anna. If she can top this boulder, that would be 4 for 4.
So chatting to Zhao, the chief route setter, he was saying that the next move requires a bit of almost like a toe jam between the screw-on foothold, which is just out of your view on that volume that she's using with the left hand. Let's see how she reads it. Okay.
This is looking good.
Yeah, it is. But she's not found the toe. She's sort of pressing away.
There we go.
Oh. So in a split second, she landed the toe on that foothold and exploded up towards the crimp, but just didn't quite get the distance. Irina back on women's 1. Yeah, and kicking out left with ease. Let's see how she finds this volume. With strength and good supply there in the fingers to sort of drag that volume and control her body in that position before making the move to the last hold. Nice top there. Got a great reaction from the crowd. And back in the center of the screen, the Serbian athlete making it to the final hold with the left hand on this occasion. And
no, she won't be awarded that.
Just left her really stretched out on that right hand foothold. You can't do an awful lot with that pinch.
That was unfortunate, really unfortunate. And also for Anna on Boulder 4, it just takes, because it's quite a slow boulder, is number 4. It takes a lot of time to, to move between the positions.
Look at that. Really pleased to top that first boulder. Getting her competition off to a good start. So now we have the first Swiss athlete on the mats, Noelusa. Don't know whether to use a French or a German or an Italian pronunciation for that name, but I'm sure someone can correct me later. Eugenia Lee will be attempting boulder number 2, and then we have Maria on women's 3. Okay, looking very comfortable on women's 1 here. The pink boulder on the right hand side of your screen. Camera just shifts its attention there. As we can see, quite a confident first attempt here. Not quite. Eugenia trying to really work her way into that without exploding out left. Wow, that's really strong.
That was very strong
work on that pinch.
Yeah,
wow.
and this is first attempt.
Yep.
What we're going to see here. Going for the heel. No, changing her mind.
Come on, Eugenia. Let's go. Whoa. Yeah, it must be a draining position, that, because you're in a steeper part of the wall. You're on 2 pinches. You've already done quite some physical work to get to there. And obviously she took some time to analyse a couple of different methods.
Yeah, I was interested there that it took over approximately a minute for Eugenia to pull onto the wall there.
Wow.
Which, given they've already observed the boulders, was maybe still slightly unsure as to what method she was going to choose.
Yeah.
I would have thought, having had the observation time, you'd want to come out and get on the boulder as quickly as possible. So that was a minute lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she had 1 attempt, and we're already down to 1 minute 35 seconds.
Yeah. Flamboyant climbing here on the right hand side, I feel. And then shifting our attention to Maria from Spain on women's 3. Just losing it there. And now we shift on to Amber's attempt on women's 4.
think so far we've only seen Anna from Austria make this transition.
Yeah.
But this is looking good.
Yeah, that is looking good. 40 seconds left. Oh, no, just losing the losing the centre of gravity and coming away from the wall. Eugenia back on women's 2 with her powerful method paying off again. Immediately gone for the left foot and putting in an Egyptian. Ah, okay. That's going to be her last attempt, unfortunately.
Yeah, just 10 seconds left.
Maria's just fighting to get that zone, isn't she?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, unfortunately, not enough time there for that. Valiant attempt, though. Excellent set of boulders, I'd say. 2 quite technical test pieces, left and right, on sort of slabby climbing, you know, vertical or just off vertical, and then 2 power boulders.
Yeah, I don't think the wall isn't slabby at all, actually, is it? The far left boulder,
yeah, it's the plumb vertical, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Slabby in context. In context of 50 degrees.
And the only boulder to not see a top yet is number 4.
Yeah. Must be technical. Okay, we've got the second Spanish athlete out on the mats. Julia Zubero. Irina's back out, charging at women's 2, establishing herself in that undercut. And the second one, looking pretty solid. Nice. Let's see what she does here. All right. Yeah, trying to use that smooth part of the starting volume for the hands with the right foot, but just not getting enough out of it. Back on women's 1, we got Julia Zubero riding the heel and making her way up to the penultimate hold. Really stretched out there, but good energy heading up to the top hold there. You know, feels like the move could be possible within the time frame. We've got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, maybe if she can change the heel to a toe on her next attempt.
Yeah,
we'll have
just gives you a few more centimeters left, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. And you can slide a toe hook off a little bit easier than you can a heel hook, can't you?
Absolutely. He looks pretty committed. So Norwegian athlete Genova wrestling with this black wooden volume. Just not finding a position sufficient to transition left. So let's go back to the Italian athlete. On women's 2, just not enough there.
Irina.
She's got enough time for an attempt. She needs to shake it off, chalk up, get stuck in for the last minute. Okay, back on women's 1. Still keeping that heel, not changing anything. And again, good energy going upwards, but just not enough to get the height for that hold.
Okay. Oh!
Please excuse the gasp there from us. But yeah, we're quite a big swing and a fall there on women's 3. Okay. Come on, Irina. Let's go. Oh, no. Just rushing a bit there on that attempt. Not surprisingly, with only 20 seconds left, and just missed the toe hook.
Yeah, a physical boulder as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 4 minutes, you only have You can only have so many attempts on a climb like that.
6 seconds. Oh, oh, nail-biting stuff. I really feel like she could have held that, but unfortunately, yeah, perhaps she wasn't deep enough on that hold with the left hand. Just a replay of Arena here. Yeah, just toe in. That was an earlier attempt then.
Oh, that was very close.
Yeah.
Spanish athlete. Unfortunate.
Okay, we have the first French athlete out on the mats. Flavie Coat. Immediately there, an attempt on women's 2. From Norway, Switzerland. Okay, better start there. Switzerland's got a rich bouldering history. A couple of infamous first ascensionists. Let's see how she goes on this upper section, this powerful move out left. Oh wow, she's managed to hold that double Gaston. You're going for the dynamic method.
Yeah, that was a good attempt.
Yeah. And back on women's 1 with the French athlete. Excellent.
Yeah, going with the toe hook.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, plenty of time left.
Yeah, she read the move well. Far side of your screens, we're looking at another attempt on women's 4. It's a very safe position, very safe starting position. She feels very tenuous sort of leaving that behind. Wow, Eugenia's managed to get fully stretched out on that first volume and managed to catch the toes, but you know, without even leaving that sort of established good handhold. You should see quite a different method from her then on this boulder.
I think Eugenia's still going to have to go dynamically there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked the foothold looked like it was just a little bit too far away. If you're that stretched out,
yeah,
I don't think. Well, she might prove me wrong though.
Yeah.
Been wrong before, I'll be wrong again.
Maria on the left-hand side. She's managed to press herself out. She left like a sort of guppied undercut in the last attempt, which just seemed like leaving too much weight on the right-hand side and not being able to get away from that position in a safe way. 40 seconds left. Okay, another good attempt here on the right-hand side of your screens on women's 1. That's quite I think that's quite a new hold from Blue Pill at the top of that boulder on women's 1. So maybe people are just unfamiliar with the shape, or maybe haven't assessed it from the ground.
Yeah, I think it's just a difficult move.
Yep.
We've seen every athlete pretty much drop that move.
Okay.
Apart from Eugenie flashed the boulder. Yeah, but everybody else has dropped that last move. So
unless you can go to it in control, it really relies on getting high on the hold, getting your fingertips deep into the back of it. Roxana from Germany out on women's 1. Italian athlete Arena back on women's 3, sorry. Now we look to Giulia on women's 2. She is into that in a good way. Wow, that was a very good attempt early on in the time. We're only 45 seconds down. She honestly looked quite close to that, so. We've got action on the extreme left and the extreme right of your screens. German athlete Roxana making light work of that start.
So the competitors come out in reverse order from their qualification round yesterday. So an impressive round this morning from Anna Bollius from Austria. Way ahead of the field at the moment with 3 tops.
Oh, beautiful top. Charismatic finish there.
It was a bit of almost a bit of a Yanya leg flick at the end there, wasn't there? The head back.
Yeah. Nah, that didn't look in any doubt, did it?
No, that's good.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's the second flash on Boulder 1.
Yeah. Really managing to, well,
yeah, she's pleased with that.
Control that momentum, yeah. I mean, I've assessed that set of blue holds from Blue Pill, and there's some, they've got some really good friction on them. So, yeah, new set of holds, quite a decent friction. So if you get a good handful of that last hold, I feel like it should be.
Yeah. Okay. Great work from Irina there.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
Here we go. Okay. I would imagine she's going to top this boulder now. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Spoke too soon there. I think Irina just rushed that last move at the top.
Absolutely.
I think she did, because that penultimate hold, I say, is very uncut. I think she just slightly rushed that then. Just 1 minute left. Oh, I really hope she can get back on and get a top here. Oh, that's devastating to drop the last hold.
I know. I mean, especially obviously you've got to put your weight over right to a good degree, and you've got to establish your left hand, much further right, because the volume is particularly poor on the left-hand side.
Yes.
It's a big art line, an art line fiberglass volume, and it's very poor on the left, and it becomes better and better and better as you go right.
Irina has time here.
Yeah, come on, Irina.
Okay, a little bit slower here.
Here we go. She just needs to go for it. Oh, wow.
Yes. Excellent. With 10 seconds left.
Risky, because she still went to the poor part with the left hand, but managed to get her right hand up in time to control it.
Yeah, maybe underestimate that move. I thought competitors would be okay on that move, but
yeah,
it obviously is a bit of a move.
Yeah. Thought about the left foot, didn't she?
Yeah.
Thought about putting her heel up. Ah, brilliant. Great to see that just in time.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, next rotation.
We've got 2 French athletes on the mat. We've just been greeted by one of the local gym owners here. Shout out to the Forge Climbing here in Genova, the latest palestra or climbing gym to open. Beautiful facility with a couple of competition walls actually, and kilter board, and a good competition training area. So if you're in the area for a couple of days and you want to have a session, go check out the Forge Climbing.
Two French athletes. Here we go.
Yeah.
Right side of the screen. Okay.
Was that a flash?
It was, yeah, from Anouk in France.
Had a couple of flashes on that boulder now, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, 3 flashes, I feel.
Seems like the boulders are separating people out nicely.
Yeah, the route set have done a great job here.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the route setting team at one point. Just taking a pause in commentary because I've just spotted an Al Pacino lookalike. Young Al Pacino, maybe 95, 96, Heat. Excellent, that's made my day. Well, it made my morning. I'm sure we'll have some more exciting stuff to come. Okay, back on women's 2. Flavy looking strong with the double Gaston, controlling the swing.
The Swiss athlete on Boulder 3 trying a very different method there. Trying to go direct. Straight from the first kind of left facing side pull, black hold.
Okay.
Trying to go straight up to the crimp, up to the penultimate hold. Very interesting method.
Wow.
Very impressed if she manages to make that work.
She's going to stick with that method.
1 minute left.
Come on, Noya. Let's see what we can do on this attempt. 35 seconds left. Oh, generating that momentum beautifully, but just not into the wall enough.
Yeah, just 10 seconds left.
Yeah, really tough on women's 4 there.
Yeah, still to see it off, Boulder 4.
Get ready for a big reaction. Feel like we've got another Italian athlete entering the building.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in the stadium the next athlete representing Italy, Francesca Matuella.
Now, I'm not exactly confident what you can hear at home, so you may have already overheard the introduction of the Italian athlete over our headsets. But if not, that is Francesca Matuella stepping out on the mats to attempt women's 1. And then we have another Italian athlete, Irina, on the last boulder, women's 4 on the far side of your screen on the far left.
Irina currently sitting in second place with 2 tops. So in a good position.
Let's see how she is on this slab. You can see the whole competition wall here, so we can see the action on women's 2 here for the German athlete.
Yeah, looking strong.
Yeah, that heel's very high and quite poor. So feels like exploding into the top pinch, because the pinch is reasonable with the right hand, right?
It is, yeah.
You get an opposition of the thumb, and it's sufficient to hold a dynamic move footless. So it does seem like the safer method, even though you're committing to jumping for the hold.
Yeah, we've seen a number of athletes put their heel up and then change their mind and bring that to toe, and yeah, caught in 2 minds on that move.
Yeah. Just a bit of over rotation there on women's 1. Back on women's one with Francesca. Oh, she's just managed to hold it. She without the thumb as well. Just catching it around the side with 4 fingers. Just getting the time and the momentum just right. Not over-rotating on that occasion. Still got a minute and a half. Have a good attempt at this top.
This is Francesca's first attempt at the top, though, so
yeah,
that was first time holding the zone.
Intuitively sort of moving to a toe and then back to the heel. Let's see. Oh, looking tentative there before heading up and left. Got time for another good go. I'm honestly surprised to see the German athlete still on the mats. I thought she would crush the top of that women's 2 after seeing her on women's 1 and seeing her first attempts on this boulder.
Yeah, it's really close on attempt number 1.
Maybe that's indicative of how draining the start is. I mean, it looks really powerful here in these 2 undercuts into the crimp. Let's see.
Okay, looking good again on boulder 2. Apologies.
Come on, Roxana. Let's go. Oh.
Yeah, I think that.
It's a bit of a tristesse pinch, that, isn't it? Cuvier Rampart. Big high pinch in the middle of the wall. Coming from a tentative body position. Yeah, cool setting. Not guaranteed. So now we have another athlete from Austria, Katharina Bergmann, on women's 1. Nice action here on women's 2. Solid top there. Yeah, making it look easy.
But not the dismount.
No. Soft mats. Yeah. Soft comp mats. Yeah, the matting here does seem soft, but it's, I think, when these athletes commit to moves high above the mats, they will commit to coming off at awkward angles, perhaps even horizontal if they've committed their feet really high on boulders. So
yeah, that's a good top as well for the French athlete on number 2. So that's 2 flashes for a nuke.
Now switching to women's 4. Back with Noe. She established herself well in that corner, but just getting out to that left-hand foothold. Again, just a series of awkward body positions and really off and on in between each one. Now we have the Austrian athlete, Katharina Bergmann, looking good on the start of women's 1. Straight over into that right-hand Gaston. So a powerful method, no match. Oh, nice. 1:10 on the clock. Time for a brush and a good go. definitely. And on the far side, the Swiss athlete looking good on the slab. I'm referring to it as a slab, it's a vertical wall, but nice, different method.
Okay.
Really trying to rock up on that foothold. Nice. Come on. Trying to edge onto that foothold, but just not
right foot.
not bumping up enough onto it. Cool method though. I like that. I didn't think there'd be enough on that left-hand foothold to rock over onto, but she seemed to make it work. Back on women's 1 with 12 seconds left. Oh. Yeah, unfortunate there. Thought she could have topped that. Good effort. So good climbing from Katharina. Really feel like she deserved a top there, but we're now going to see the third athlete from France, Valentina Manina. So nice climbing on women's 1 from the French athlete, Valentina.
And we're seeing a good attempt on the far left of the wall by the Spanish athlete on Boulder 4.
Oh, wow. Yep. Nice to see a bit of action higher in that boulder. See how the moves look. Okay. Roxana. Trying to hold that dyno on that first slopey volume. All of the athletes just taking a pause for assessment.
Most of the athletes on Boulder 2 were starting by running into the boulder and catching the undercut both hands, where the Italian athlete there choosing to go up high with just the left hand as a gaston, then struggling to make her feet work on the slippery part of the start hold, of the foothold.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of softer matting. Like running or jumping off them into an initial starting position, you just lose a lot of that energy into the matting.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Roxana on women's 3 looking good. She's trying to go to that volume in isolation. She's not looking for that second volume as a better option. Okay, now we have 3 athletes making good progress. And we're left with Francesca Mattuella. She's got enough time, but she's only get 1 good attempt on this.
Secured the zone though.
Oh, that was valiant. That looked good.
Yeah, I think from the problems Francesca was having on the start there, I think she should be quite pleased to, secure the zone hole there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think decide to call it a day on that boulder.
And we're going to welcome another Austrian athlete onto the mats, Leah Kempf.
So her teammate Anna, who was out very early in this session, is still at the top of the pack with 3 tops.
We have Katharina making the zone on her first attempt there. Straight up into penultimate hold there with little or no problem. Very static method. Really spreading the left foot out wide. Trying to almost establish herself on that blocks wooden volume with the left foot before she even cuts the toe or the heel. Yeah, that was a promising first go. Just seeing the rankings on the screen. Again. Yeah, looks promising both occasions, but not quite finding the method. Back on women's one, her teammate.
Okay, boulder 2. Austrian athlete on the last move.
Oh, and she's made it. Nice.
Excellent. Great top.
Great team, the Austrian team. We've obviously got
great depth in the team, isn't there? As their head coach at this event is former World Cup winner Kilian Fischhuber. Huge amount of experience, so that's great to pull on.
Yeah, I was going to say, having that experience in your ear during the competition, leading up to the competition, and presumably he's an active coach during the season. It's invaluable.
Yeah, many of the teams with former competitors now coaches, helping the younger athletes. For the French team, there's Jeremy Boulder.
Is he in the building?
Yeah, he's the French coach at this event.
40 seconds to go. 40 seconds. Seconds to go.
with 15 seconds or so, we're going to see last attempt from Leah. I feel like she could just make this. Oh, another very close attempt. Unfortunate there.
Seeing a replay here of the Austrian athlete with a top on number 2. So, we were talking before about is it heel or toe? She went off the low screw hold with the right foot. Just powered through.
Powered through.
Yeah, pushed off really hard and got really high.
Yeah.
From what I remember from the other athletes, they caught the last hold with quite a straight arm. Seemed to be quite extended in their shoulder. When the athlete there was high in the shoulder, looked really solid.
All 4 athletes on the wall now.
And Boulder number 1 from Germany, Anna Legner. Good start, securing the zone on her first attempt.
We've got some good action on women's 1 from her teammate. I spoke too soon. She just dropped the slab, but
good first attempt for Anna.
it's hard to say. I mean, every time I see somebody make a good attempt on that top move, I feel confident they're going to top the boulder within the time left. But then,
I mean, I think from the first competitor that came out, we thought, oh yeah, they're going to get that next go. And yeah, it's been the same for every athlete.
Yeah, there's something awkward about it that denies them. You leave a very secure position. You have to be quite loose on the top move. You have to sort of flow through it a little bit. On the far left, we are now with the German athlete on women's 4. Really tenuous stuff on those red volumes.
Yeah, moving that left foot to the dual text holds. Quite tricky, but she managed to do it as Roxanne. This is looking good.
Excellent, yeah.
Move the right foot higher. There we go.
Interesting.
Yeah, proving very difficult, that move.
Yeah, the right foot seems obvious once, or would seem obvious once you're in that position. But she was hesitant to even use it, and then effectively went off the smear above it on the side of the left-hand side of the volume. I'm not sure why she's chosen to do that, but obviously it must feel like a very precarious position.
Yeah.
She's got 32 seconds left on the far left of your screen, and I'm focusing on that boulder right now because it is the one that hasn't received the top yet. But we have 2 athletes fighting very hard on women's 1 and women's 2 here to try and secure a top before the end.
Okay, there we go.
Both of them looking promising.
Yeah. Our first top in number 4.
Remarkable. She moved through that really fast.
Yeah. The route setter did tell us that once you jump and catch, there's an edge on top of the penultimate hold.
Let's see that
and he said, here we go.
Yeah,
there we go. There we go. And that hold is very positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the route setter suggested once you catch that hold, that the boulder's done.
Look at that reaction. Yeah, she's pumped to do that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and that's put Roxana into second place. Great top. We may be having a bit of a pause in the action here. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can probably see now, we have some medics on the mat. Appears possibly the German athlete has injured herself.
We're just going to have a pause in proceedings now and look at some replays.
So this is Anna early on. So that was a high left foot for Anna. Interesting. So we've seen a couple of methods on that boulder. Anna choosing to land on her right foot on the volume as well.
Okay.
Avoiding that impact on the left leg. I wonder if it was because of the leg or... I see Anna...
Maybe,
Anna doing that last move in quite good control compared to the Italian athlete who had to quickly bring her right hand up to match.
Yeah. I think she read that volume better and managed to get her left hand further over right into the more positive part. Just seeing Eugenia there on women's one.
Probably the most comfortable top we've seen on number one.
Absolutely. Yeah. There was no doubt on that last move.
Yeah.
And then since then we've seen a lot of athletes struggle with that finish to that boulder. That was another strong top. And this is the athlete from Serbia catching that last hold with the left hand, but just not matching it with enough time to secure the top.
Yeah, by going it with the left hand, catching the right hand side of the hole, not able to get a thumb on, so wasn't holding it as a pin, so probably quite a bad slopey hole like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ringraziamo ovviamente questo applauso per la ragazza, ma anche per tutta la Croce Rossa che è subito intervenuta.
Unfortunately, we've had an injury on the match just now, so the German athletes on Boulder 1, she's just been attended to and just been taken off. I hope it's not too serious. So pause in proceedings whilst we put everything in place to restart. So if you're just tuning in, we've had a pause in proceedings. We'll have 4 minutes and then the competition will restart.
It's maybe a good time to talk about the route setters, James. Who do we have route setting today?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got this wharf that we're on that juts out into the harbour opposite the Piazza della Festa. It was occupied by a national and international team of route setters who have been responsible for designing the boulders on which the athletes must compete. The chief route setter of the event was João Évora from Portugal, and he is the head route setter at the climbing district, or one of the climbing district gyms in France, in Paris. And his team was made up of another gentleman who sets in France, French national, Joris Delay, head of the IFSC paraclimbing setting, French national chief setter, and he actually is lucky enough to live in Larchon, near Nemours in Fontainebleau. I was very jealous to discover that the other night. And then from Italy, we have none other than Gabriele Maroni, who is the head setter at Urban Wall in Milano, which if you have the opportunity to visit Milan and you fancy a climbing session, then you could choose no better gym to have a session. And then following on from Gabriele, we have Luca Camanni, who's the head route setter at New Rock in Brescia and Arobia Climbing in Bergamo. So not too far from here, probably 3.5 hours drive. And if you find yourself in the city of Bergamo or in the city of Brescia, I can recommend Arobia or New Rock. And then we have Simone Zappino, who's from Torino, head route setter at Big Up, which is a gym in south of Torino by a couple of hours, about 2 hours north from here. Nice little bouldering gym, actually. Yeah, really good setup there. They have really active climbing community, good comps, and Simone's a great setter, spends a lot of time in France, like travels over the border from Torino and sets at some of the French gyms to take on a bit of their style. And then finally we have Davide Bassotto from Torino as well. I mean, he spends a lot of his time on rock as well, so manages to get a balance between setting and rock climbing, and he sets in the Torino and Milano areas. Yeah, great team.
Yeah, and Gabby Maroni, yeah, a bit of an Italian legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
I first came across his name probably in maybe, I'm going to say 2004.
Okay.
He sort of burst onto the scene at a European Championships in Lecco. That was a great event, and he was a bit of an unknown. He was only 16 at the time.
Okay.
And that was when it wasn't usual for, you know, teenagers to be on the scene. You know, during that period, I would said most of the athletes were into, you know, mid to late 20s.
Okay.
So it was a bit of a shock when Gabri came third at the Lecco European Championships.
Oh,
really burst onto the scene. I think the winner of the competition was Daniel Delac from France. Yeah.
Okay, I recognise that name.
Yeah, and second was Andy Earle from the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Andy Earle in second. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, competition restarting. 4 minutes on the clock. 4 athletes out on the mats. And the first appearance for number 139, which is an athlete from Spain. By the name of Giulia Martin. Quick work on women's 2 from the Austrian athlete, Leah. And this is excellent climbing on women's 1.
Okay, this is looking very promising. Oh, spoke too soon.
Yeah, that does look promising though, doesn't it?
Only 16 years of age, though.
Okay.
Very, very young competitor.
How are we in the rankings? Because we've moved through the field quite quickly. We've got only a couple more athletes to join us in the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, still in first place with 3 tops is Anna.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, Anna qualified in 20th place yesterday, so
here we go.
Rising from 20th to 1st.
Back on women's 1. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
No problem. Yeah, very controlled.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent finish there. That could have been a flash, really, but yeah, just a bit hard to maintain the tension and keep the friction on that left foot on the volume. Excellent. So 3 competitors remain. Back on women's 2 with Leah. Nice. Seems to struggle with the start at all. Ah, nice. Yeah, looks strong in that position. Let's see how she reads the top.
This looks promising.
No messing with an attempt directly to the pinch, but yeah, just not getting quite far enough up on that final hold. The extreme left of your screens. One athlete remains on the wall on women's 3. That was, she tried to do that quite slow and steady, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe even keeping the feet low and making the stretch to that first volume with the feet still on.
I think she caught herself in 2 minds there. Yeah. I think she maybe thought she was going to go dynamically and then for a moment thought, actually, I might be able to just reach that statically or semi-statically. But unfortunately, not enough time now. But secured the zone.
Just catching a replay on women's 1 from the Spanish athlete, Giulia. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I think we're welcoming the penultimate athlete out now.
That's right, yeah.
Lisa Clem from the Netherlands. And we have an Italian athlete on the far side on women's 4. Francesca Mattuella. We can hear the voice in the background, Simona Reina, who seems to be a bit of a feature of the Italian competitions here. Always present as the announcer on site. She's already into a good position on the start of that boulder. Managing to stop on the foothold? Is that just the position where there's that first screw on?
Yeah.
No, I'm mistaken. There's actually no screw on that volume. It's actually just a shear section of friction. So there's no particular point. So back on women's 1. Lisa Clem from the Netherlands, using the Gaston to power out to that penultimate volume. Intuitively switching to the toe. Should stand her in good stead for this last move. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Little moment there. Little moment of...
There seems to be so little in that move, though.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen a lot of athletes grab the hold almost in a similar way, but not manage to hold it. Where that looked quite comfortable in the end.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of tension there, a little bit of a shudder or something, a little bit of a power tremble, but yeah, no. But then you can almost see the body language sort of relax when you know they've caught something well, and unless a foot pops due to a lack of friction or something, I think, yeah, you can see that. Okay, let's see how Francesca does on this second go. First go was really good, but I honestly think whatever you learn in a really successful approach doesn't always translate in these sorts of slab boulders. Like, they can be very off and on. And even though you remember what you did previously and you look to repeat it in the same fashion, it's different to repeating something that's more basic, and you can still lose a foot or not get your center of gravity quite right and end up not making it as far through the boulder as you did on the previous attempt, even if you've learned, you know, a reasonable amount.
Yeah, I think we've all had those occasions where your flash attempt on a boulder, and you come off and maybe your flash go and you think, okay, yeah, I've got this, let's go. Yeah. And then
2 hours later.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get through the start again.
Yeah, 2 hours later, the light's fading, and you're on the last day of your climbing trip, and yeah, it won't be as dramatic just to say your heart's broken, but it's it can be a frustrating process, but it's a rewarding one. But unfortunately, there for Francesca, she couldn't get as far as she did on the 3 or 4 attempts ago.
Okay, so let's count down to our final athlete.
This is Martina Bersikova.
Yeah, from Bratislava. Qualified in first place yesterday.
Austrian athletes racing out onto the mat to find women's 4 and 3. And then we have our Spanish athlete, Julia Martin, who did very well topping boulder 1 on her second attempt. So I think she looks like quite a powerful climber. I think she should get on quite well at this. Straight up into that, no problem. Let's see. Sort of interested to see how these 2 Austrian athletes get on women's 4 as well, actually. Yeah, Julia looking pretty good on women's 2 there. Back on women's 1, Martina not finding that right-hand catch of the pinch. So we'll move to women's 4. Katarina. Just not managing to keep her weight over her feet there and being ejected from the wall. So back with Julia. So actually the top 8 athletes from this session will progress to the finals this evening. where we'll see a fresh set of 4 boulders for the women's finalists to compete on. I'll take a moment to thank a few of the suppliers. Artline Holds from France, Blocks Climbing from Germany, Blue Pill Holds from Germany, Morpho of Slovenia, Grizzly Holds from Canada, which have actually supplied that pink pinch on the first boulder, which is like the early crux on the zone hold. And then we have Unit Holds from the Netherlands, who've made some of the beautiful volumes that you can see at the start of Women's 3. And finally Vezi, who doesn't feature on this wall. Vezi Holds, but we will see some of those in the later stage of the competition. So action on Women's 1 and Women's 3.
Yeah, Martina, on number 1. Very young athlete, only 17.
Excellent climbing from this Latin athlete.
Very easy on that last move.
I mean, she's effectively qualified in first for this competition, so it's not surprising to see a high level of execution for her on that first boulder.
Yeah, obviously being 17, fairly new to the senior circuit. Best result so far has been at the first European Cup of the season back in Austria, back in April, end of April, and she finished 7th at that event.
Nice.
Okay, Boulder 3. Let's see this last move.
Oh, Leah static to the final hold there.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
similar to a
walked her feet out right and then crossed over, no problem.
Yeah, like, a teammate did that move similar as compared to the Italian athlete who went double hand.
A little bit finger strength dependent on that penultimate crimp, you know, to remain stable. Like it. Love to see moves get crushed like that. Yeah, looking very solid. Excellent. So back to the other rotation. Lisa Clem back on the mats on Women's 2. Women's 4. We're going to see the French athlete. Valentina. Come on, Valentina. She spent a bit of time in Fontainebleau. She'll have some good slab skills on poor foot hold, so.
Yeah, I think they often talk about the French team in general being very good on the slab climbs, and
wow, Lisa Clem there just making light work of this.
Missed a match, no problem
Strong.
at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa
Yeah, the spread of the athletes on these boulders has been remarkable, you know, from struggling with the start moves to flashing them. So yeah, great spread of results in this semi-finals.
Yeah, these are really good boulders actually, really good. Everybody struggling on different climbs. Yeah, we just mentioned about the French team having a reputation for excelling on the slab climbs, and I think our minds immediately do go to Fontainebleau and the style of climbing there.
Absolutely.
However, I think it's also the climbing gyms as well. Speaking to some friends who have recently been in Paris at a number of climb walls there, they said in particular that the slab climbing there was very, very difficult, and there was a bit of an emphasis on that.
Yeah.
You know, each country seems to have their style, don't they, so to speak. When I think of the American climbers, you tend to think of maybe perhaps steeper walls, more powerful climbing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think the French climbers in particular, historically, you think, has been very good technical climbers. There's no butchering of the problems, is there?
No.
They climb with a bit of finesse.
No, absolutely. yeah, sort of taking pride in the execution of the boulder, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about slabs. It's not actually a slab boulder, is it?
Well, I'm going to call it a slab.
We're still calling it the slab.
Yeah, calling it a slab. I mean, it's for those of you at home that can't see the angle. I mean, it is a vertical wall on that left-hand side of the wall. It's not leaning inwards, so there's no change to the angle. But the style of climbing,
Yeah,
slab climbing,
it's slow, isn't it? It's slow.
really footwork dependent, really body position dependent.
Yeah, so the left, call down. I think it was due to the towel just catching on the toe as she left the ground. So the towel used to clean the shoes prior to pulling on.
Think you feel any increased pressure when you're the only athlete left on the mats? Maybe she's not. I mean, she seems very focused on the boulder, so I mean that's just an aspect, you know, having never competed myself.
It's possible. I think you maybe feel that more if you're the first athlete out.
Yes.
So competitor number 1 out.
All the focus.
You know, everybody's waiting for the competition to start, and you're the first person out. Just shy of time there.
Yep. Well, excellent. Really enjoying this comp. Some great boulders.
Yeah, no zone there for Anouk, but still up into 4th place with 2 early flashes.
So we're going to see Leah Kempf from Austria on women's 4, Julia Martin on women's 3, Martina Bersikova on women's 2. Spanish athlete Martina making light work of that start. She's flashed the start into the zone. Really nice. And she's not struggled to make that move.
Wow. Very impressive.
This is a really solid attempt. Let's see how she is in the final stage of the boulder. Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Really nice climbing. Definitely.
I think, barring any appeals, that's definitely seen her straight into the final.
Yeah, I was going to say,
the top 8.
Seeing her in the finals.
Yeah, top 8 athletes, isn't it? So.
Yeah, top 8.
Yeah, that puts Gill into 5th place with 1 boulder to go.
So we're left with Leah on the mats. Leah Kempf. Just after this replay, you'll see her emerge on your screens on the left-hand side. Stadium still quite packed here. All attention on Leah's attempt here. She can make it over onto the left-hand side of the problem. She's got a couple of minutes left on the clock. Now it's just this transition onto that left-hand foothold. Keep your heels low. See all that tension through the shoulders there. Fighting to keep her chest into the wall, into that groove that's created by the sort of the curvature of the structure. She's done pretty well there. I think she's got enough time for another good attempt. And then let's see how athlete Martina can get on in this final section of women's 2. Just lost the foot. Nice attempt. One minute left. Leah's back on. trembling on that first foothold. Oh wow, yeah. Quite impressed with the stability in that position. I thought that would be the kind of position that you'd come off the wall in, but she's managed to hold it, and she's looked quite stable in doing it. And she's made the left foothold. Excellent. Ah, that's frustrating. Super frustrating there for Leah, because
that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, made more ground on the boulder on that attempt, but just.
Okay, so Leah's been awarded the zone on boulder 4.
Okay.
So that's at the
on
moment.
That attempt or on the prior attempt, I wonder. I would think the prior attempt.
Yeah, it was on. Yeah, sorry, apologies. It was on attempt 1. So that puts Leah into 8th place. So at the moment, just squeezing into final.
Okay. Yeah, it gets a little bit tense in the coaching staff and teammates who've completed the competition now and who watch this semi-finals come to a close, looking at those positions.
So here with Lisa, boulder 3, already with 2 tops.
Yeah, with the work she's done in the competition already, she's already placed in 6th, is that right? So
yes. Yeah.
She can't do any damage to Leah's positioning. But Martina can. Martina's currently placed in 11th. And she'll be out on the mats next. Confident body language on that swing. She's taken the method of pressing in. She's managing to fight her way into the corner. Can she get the zone?
Excellent. Yeah.
Really good.
Strong shoulder work there.
Just over 2 minutes left. Powerful stuff at the start of this climb, so just taking a breather and the opportunity to brush the hold again. After this semi-finals draws to a close, we will have the men. I'm sure there'll be a reasonable changeover period whilst the route setters dash out and strip the walls and replace these boulders with another set of 4 for the men to compete on. Then we have 24 male semi-finalists as well. Quite a long day of competition, really. Run the clock down to a minute now. Obviously looking for this attempt to be the one. Yeah, this method is really powerful through the shoulders, isn't it? So
yeah, seeing there, very whole body shaking there, very physical.
Yeah, very different methodology to the Spanish athlete who sort of danced across to the zone.
Yeah.
Come on. No, just running out of steam on that.
Yeah, really not able to make it work a second time.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
Excellent attempt. Yeah, you can imagine being disappointed with that. But really good nonetheless.
Still secured the zone.
So we'll have Martina back out now, and she can really disrupt the rankings. She's going to join us on women's 3. And we have Giulia Martin on boulder number 4.
Yeah, boulder 4 still only receiving 1 top from Roxana from Germany.
In the close of this semi-finals, hope we get to see a replay of that. Okay. Okay, so we've got Martina into the zone, making her way to that first volume, but just finding it too slopey. Not positive enough to hold in that fashion. Let's see if she adjusts something on her next attempt.
And the Spanish athlete already in 5th place.
Was it Giulia's teammate who sort of sank onto the volume with the, sank onto the volume really low with a sort of flat foot, putting the full footprint on the volume and sinking low, and then basically pressing up from the low volume as a handhold, let's say. Do you remember that, Peter?
I think it was,
I
yeah.
think that's the only time that we've seen it. And
yeah.
Pretty sure it was her teammate, but seems like that sort of methodology might suit her quite well, but she's just struggling with the friction on that 3rd red volume that she's on now with her left foot. And as I said before, there's no screw-ons on that, so we've just got a sheer face, and the same on the one that she has with her hands, but there is a screw-on foothold sort of hidden around the angle of that volume.
Yeah, just by where her left knee is now.
Exactly.
You can just see it.
Martina has held.
Yeah.
She's made the crimp. Oh, that wasn't
no
any
problem
doubt either, was it? Yeah. Nice. We've got 1 minute 25 left. And although that might be enough time for one of the power boulders, it feels like maybe one good attempt left on this. What do you think?
Yeah, that top from Martina has put her into 7th place, so secured herself a final spot there.
Has that just pushed Leah out of the finals?
Yes, yeah. That was 2nd attempt from Martina.
Now she's got an Egyptian in here. She sort of dropped the left knee in,
okay,
which is remarkable considering how poor that foothold is.
Yeah, that zone hold on boulder 4 is it's almost just a suggestion of a hold.
Suggestion, yeah. It's a saucer. An upside down saucer. Okay. Giulia's really run out of time now.
Quindi signori abbiamo 5 minuti di pausa prima di osservare l'ultimo turno di gara, perché ovviamente non è presente l'atleta tedesca Anna Letterman, ma scusa, errore mio.
So we can have Lisa Clam out, the Netherlands, on women's sport.
It's unbelievable.
A lot of chalk down on the mats now. You've got to really take care of those shoes before you set off on this boulder. Good that she's got a towel down in front of her to sort of clean the tips of the shoes before she sets off.
Yeah. As we saw with the French athlete, though, you just have to be a little bit careful that you don't carry the towel up on the end of your toe.
Absolutely.
You will get called down for that.
Yeah.
So the left foothold she's on at the moment is very positive. That's a good foothold.
Yeah.
They just really have to touch the right one to start the boulder. Okay, choosing a different method. Sure how this will work. I really feel like you need that right foot higher in order to make that transition, but maybe something could work. Yeah, just that left foot sliding down that hole there.
Just lost the friction. Yeah, it's a real puzzle, the start of this. Looks like the kind of boulder you'd want the luxury of a bit more time over. Kind of thing that all of these athletes could climb given a session at the gym, but in this allotted 4 minutes, it's really a tough ask. Hence, we've only seen one top.
Yes.
Well, somebody's got very excited at this end of things on the microphone, and we've had a big request for an applause. One minute remains for Lisa Clem to try and establish herself on the second phase of this boulder. Back on the wall.
I was interested, the humidity level has creeped up a little. It's up to 62% humidity, which I would still argue is pretty good. But yeah, just end of the competition for Lisa. Well, end of the round. And we'll see Lisa in the final.
There's Martina back on the mats.
Okay, last competitor, last boulder this afternoon, women's semi-final.
She's currently positioned 7th. If she knows that, I always feel like there's a moment in a competition where if you're confident in making the finals, you might be better off not achieving a better placement so that you come out earlier. So the conditions on the boulders are a little bit, better. I mean, it's a risky tactic.
It is. I don't think Martina will know for sure that she's in the final. Well, there's no score, but she shouldn't really be able to know if she's in the final or not. And I think you're always going to try your hardest when you come out to these boulders. I don't think you can come out and just, we're getting a different look on the boulder here.
That's a nice angle.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that left foot protrudes quite far from the wall, but the first 70% of the hold is smooth with no texture.
Yeah, this is very awkward, this.
Absolutely.
Very awkward. Yeah, I think when it... this is looking good.
Excellent camera angle there to illustrate that boulder for you from the guys in the
Sliding
Out There
that.
Collective.
Oh, okay.
And she just hasn't made the difference to hit that edge. She's got time on the clock. Back on the wall with 1:25 on the clock. Hopefully we can get another close-up of that footwork that's necessary to complete this boulder for you. And Martina looking confident here.
That's a great shot.
Got that left-hand foothold. Look how close she's having to stay to the wall to keep her.
Yeah.
So you're having to stay so close to the wall that you can't afford to give yourself the space to look down at that right foot. So she's sort of searching for that right foot blind.
Yeah.
Before maybe catching it, maybe feeling a sensation under your foot, and then, trusting that you've reached it and going for that hold. Yeah, and applause there for Martina. Excellent few attempts on that boulder. And with that, we conclude the semi-finale, or the semi-finals in English, of this round of the European Cup here in Genova. We'll share some rankings with you on the screen in a moment. And we will be back in due course for the men's semi-finals, which will see 24 athletes come out to compete on 4 new boulders. Thanks for joining us. Martin, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, James.
Nice chatting with you, and yeah, we will see you all back here for the men's semi-finals. So we have Anna from Austria in first.